We still call ourselves a free country, but over the weekend, Trump apparently seized control of Minnesota's police, and he is drafting indictments of Democrats and has prepared the military to deploy there, all because Trump does not like the way that the people there are actually using their First Amendment rights to protest. That is completely constitutionally protected, but this is his response to that. And starting with the first development, Stephen Miller is clearly he's very clear that ICE is Trump's secret police by saying this on X. He said only federal officers are upholding the law. Local and state police have been ordered to stand down and surrender. All right, so yeah, he put it out there. He was very intentional in what he was saying. And the federal government constitutionally, again, has no power over local law enforcement. So something else the government shouldn't have the power to do is to charge the president's political opponents because he doesn't like them. But that is not the America that we're in anymore. This is where we are today. The Trump administration has opened a criminal investigation into elected Democrats in Minnesota. The investigation would focus on allegations that Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey, mayor of Minneapolis, had conspired to impede thousands of federal agents who have been sent to the city last month. Well, subpoenas have yet to be issued, but they are expected in the coming days. And reporting of this planned action came just a few days after former Trump defense lawyer turned Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said that he would stop the officials' terrorism by whatever means necessary. This is what he posted on X. He said, ICE operates in thousands of countries without incident, men and women doing their jobs, protecting us all from criminal aliens. Minnesota insurrection is a direct result of a failed governor and a terrible mayor encouraging violence against law enforcement. It's disgusting. Walz and Frey, I'm focused on stopping you from your terrorism by whatever means necessary. This is not a threat. It's a promise. It's good when they say it's not a threat because otherwise it really would have sounded like a threat. You can't just issue a threat and say it's not a threat because it is. So Walz responded to Todd Blanche saying, weaponizing the justice system and threatening political opponents is a dangerous authoritarian tactic. The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. And yeah, that's true. They're investigating everyone but the guy who actually shot her and had no remorse when he walked away, still calling her derogatory names after he shot her. They're investigating her wife even. Like, why is that a thing? So that is one authoritarian tactic, but here is another. The Pentagon has ordered about 1,500 troops to prepare for a possible deployment to Minnesota as the state reels from intensifying anti-ICE protests after the fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good. So they would be called upon if Trump invoked the Insurrection Act. So now the question is, will he do that? Probably. This is his most recent statement on that. He said, President Trump appeared to back down on Friday from his threat to send military forces into Minneapolis. He said, I don't think I need it right now, he told reporters while leaving the White House to spend the weekend in Florida. So basically everything with him shifts by the day, so we never really know how he feels. So just don't get too comfortable, especially if you live in Minneapolis or Minnesota. They are already dealing there with more than 3,000 federal agents invading their city. Brett, I want to get your thoughts on everything that's going on from the protest to more specifically the response from the government to the protests and also to Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, but also within the context of this, of everything that's happening right now in Minnesota. Minnesota is a blue state and they're not even known for having the largest illegal immigration or immigrant population. So it's a very interesting ground zero for everything that our government is trying to do right now. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is a very convenient state to focus in on for Trump. Because the governor is someone who ran against him and people liked for a long time. He's also a governor who can get very progressive reforms through Congress. And he's also a guy who did preside over the investigations, and he got, during his time, he made it easier to do fraud investigations in his state. And a lot of the stuff that the right wing is complaining about, they're only able to complain about because of the work that Walz did to uncover that. Also, there's a movie called Captain Phillips, and in it, the Somali aspect of it. And in that movie, there's a white hero and there's a black villain, so to speak. And for Donald Trump, he's like, oh, this is awesome because there's different kinds of minorities I can focus in on. And he knows that he has stoked this massively racist part of his support. And those people get to see, oh, God, now I get to focus on black migrants and immigrants and not just the Mexican ones or the Central American ones or the South American ones. And that's why he's focusing in on this. And you add into it a little bit of like ridiculous fake journalism from people on the right. I don't know if anybody watched the Channel 5 interview with the guy behind the anti-fraud documentary, I guess you could call it. But it was revealed very quickly that the guy who made this YouTube series or whatever on which Trump's investigations are loosely based, it's very clear that that guy is a total goddamn idiot. And so we're left with this. We're left with Donald Trump doing what he likes to do, which is, oh, I was convicted in a court of law by people who actually a jury of my peers, so to speak, and held felonies and criminally liable of various sexual assault charges. And he's like, well, that's unfair because I'm such an alpha dog. That's so unfair. I've got to do it to you. You know, I'm rubber and you're indicted. Like that. I think that's my grand summary of what's been happening. It feels very anti-American because through it all, there are people walking the streets of this country saying, papers, please. This is not Nazi Germany. Though I know that there are some things very explicitly that Stephen Miller wants to bring from that inspiration.
Oh yeah. We've got more on Stephen Miller. We have more on the story because like it just keeps getting worse. And the things that are going on in Minnesota, very much so. I mean, we saw echoes of it, or maybe what comes before the preceding, not an echo, but we saw it in Portland, and what's happening in Minnesota feels like an echo of what happened in this is a bad analogy and I've lost it. It's gone forever. So I'm just gonna move on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it started in Portland. We got a taste of it there, and now it's happening in Minnesota. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's a fascist playbook.
When your company is growing fast, damage control is essential, especially in order fulfillment. Before ShipStation, we'd spend hours tracking orders and following up with customers. Now, our team has cut that time in half. With ShipStation, you can basically let your shipping go on autopilot because it's just that easy now. The problem is usually too many disconnected tools. ShipStation solves that core problem. It's an intelligence-driven platform that brings order management, rate shopping, inventory, returns, and analytics all into one place. Connect to over 200 sales channels. And instead of 5 to 7 confusing apps, you've got just one command center. And here's the best feature. It compares rates from USPS, UPS, and FedEx, including your negotiated discounts, to find the best option for every order with savings up to 90% off. Already have carrier rates? Bring them. Keep your discounts and add ShipStation's automation. Set up rules once and ShipStation picks the best carrier, finds the best rate, prints labels in bulk, and even sends tracking updates. Those tracking updates alone cut customer service inquiries by 12%. Plus, their returns management and analytics show you exactly what's coming back and where you can optimize. Try ShipStation free for 60 days with full access to all features, no credit card needed. Go to ShipStation.com and use code DAMAGE for 60 days for free. 60 days gives you plenty of time to see exactly how much time and money you're saving on every shipment. That's ShipStation.com, code DAMAGE. ShipStation.com, code DAMAGE.